I just had to click the ads off. Good evening, everybody. So I can see we are good to go on the tube, and we are also good to go on the Facebook. So good evening, everybody. How are you all? It's been a long day for me. I've been working for hours. So I'm ready for a play tonight. I'm ready for this. Little bit of creativity. Time to have a play with the lustre powders that we've not used for ever. Or it seems like ages since we've used them. So tonight's the night. And I don't think it's going to be a quick one. So prepare yourselves. So good evening. Right, there's too many of you here already. So good evening, everybody. Everybody that's just joining. I'm just having a drink. I've eaten as well, which usually is a bad thing for demoing. I usually perform better when I'm hungry. Right, so let's just say hello to everybody who is here. So Jane, Margaret, Melanie. Oh, I love your name, Acinda Smith. That sounds posh. Anne, Margaret, Paula, Kathleen, Beatrice, Saz, Joanne, Sally Ann, Pat, Karen, Helen. And over to the Facebook. No sound on Facebook. You must have me on mute, Julie. I can't help you with that, Chuck. You need to click the mute button, which is at the bottom. Can somebody just type a reply to Julie? Just tell her to check she hasn't got the mute button clicked. We've all done it. We've been there. We've all been there and done it. Let me just move my screen out a little bit. That was a little bit too in your face. That's better. That's better. So let's just bring the lights in. And we are good to go. Oh, what a day. I can't believe it's Monday already. This weekend's gone so quickly. So quickly. And now I've worked all weekend, which I know won't surprise you. But it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge this weekend to get everything done that I needed to get done. But I have done it today. Julie Phill said check the mute button. That's right, I did. Right, so tonight is quite a long-winded job tonight. All I've done prep-wise is the die cutting. And I thought, as I say, we've not looked at the lustre powders for such a long time because I've had so many new things coming out. It seems to be all at once. So let's go back to the lustre powders and talk about A, how fabulous they are, and B, all the different ways in which you can use them. Now there is a video already on YouTube showing you how to use them and how to get the most of them and what they are, etc. So I won't go on too much about what they actually are. I will just do a recap. So when I get to that stage. So we are doing quite a big card. This is 17, the base of this is 17 by 23.5. And that's just really because I've put big flowers on this card. Oops, that's where I've just dried it, washed it. Bear with me a second. I don't want to sit my card in the water. Well, that's the point. Have I got water in here? Yes, I have. That's a good start. So I've got quite a bit of die cutting already done. I am using the Florascript stamps tonight, particularly the script background and one of the medleys. I'm not sure which one yet. So I'll put them to one side and decide when it's time. I'm also going to use the beautiful fanfare stencil, which was, if I remember correctly, part of the Florascript release at the same time as well. So if you've got the Florascript collection, that's a bit of a Brucey bonus because I'm using just about everything that is from that collection. So lustre powders, let's have a quick look. Let me put the lid on. The colours we've got are stunning. I'm going to do some new ones this year. Because I've not done any new colours for ages, and I think we're long overdue some new colours in the lustre powders. So I already kind of know which colours I'm going for. So let me just find them. You can see as well, remember, let me just show you one before I get started, before I start rattling and before I get started. So the lustre powders, these are not just mica powders. Probably not Karen. Karen's just asking me on YouTube about gilding waxes. Now that's something that I did with Creative Expressions, and as you know, Creative Expressions and I parted company a long time ago. In fact, they've gone now, which is a shame. And gilding waxes, I don't know whether you've heard me say this before, Karen, but if you've got my metallic paints, you don't actually need gilding waxes because the paints are just as good. Well, controversially, I'm going to say better because you can do more with them and you get the same pearlescent sheen from the paints as you do with the gilding waxes. So it's a bit of a win-win. You can paint with the paints, obviously, and paint your grey board, etc., which you can't really do with gilding wax. Right, so lustre powders, what are they? Let's have a look. Let's show you. So the Radiant Lustre Pigment Powders. So these are not mica powders. They have mica in them. They also have pigment powder in them, which is why the colour is so intense and more or less stays true to what you see in the pot. But they also have a built-in fixative. You can stamp with these, you can paint with these, you can mix them with my white gesso, you can mix them with texture paste. The list is just endless. So I think I might use this colour. No, hang on. Let's use Sea Foam, and I want a tealy colour. Deep Aquamarine. Let's just see if there's a better... Oh, that's a pretty colour. Oh, Serene. Oh, decisions. Oh, I'm spoiled for choice already. Now, I knew which colours I wanted before I started. I really like that colour. That's a nice... Look at the state of this jar. That's a nice combo, isn't it? Serene Sage and Aquamarine. Now, I was going to go Lime. Serene Sage... what's that one? Sea Foam and Deep Aquamarine. That's also a very nice colour. Right, that's what I'm going for. Otherwise, I'll be all night choosing colours. Yeah, stay off the naughty step, Karen. Oh, bless you. No, you just don't need them. There's no... Yeah, like Jean's just said over on Facebook, you've got more control with the paints. And of course, they don't stink like gilding waxes do. Right, so good evening to everybody who's just joining. Just before I move my little pot away, I'll just remind you as well, with all of the Radiant Lustre Pigment Powders, you can make your own pearlescent sprays. So if you've got any of our empty bottles, you can make your own little mica sprays. So what I advise, you can actually see the mica in that one, look. What I actually advise, if you're going to make your own spray, you can see, look, I've only put a bit in the bottom because inevitably the nozzles may clog up. So you may as well just have a bit and then you know where you're at. You just need some empty bottles. Oh, I've got loads, look. Loads and loads and loads. Right, so we are going to start with the base of this card. There's a lot to do tonight, but I think you're going to like the overall effect when it's finished. I'm using quite a few different products. Oh, and that interesting Jackie. Jackie's just said on Facebook, I don't use blues much, but I think those colours look good together. Which is strange because I always go for blues. It's not strange, but it's just what we like. It's personal preference. So I've got loads and loads and loads of stuff die cut here, loads, and we're starting with plain white cardstock. Now I'm not using watercolour card. I'm using my normal ice white cardstock, which I know will pick up the colours really nicely from the lustre powders. So you don't have to use watercolour card. You do get more movement from the water and from the Oh, Chris is in hospital. Oh, Chrissy, if you're watching, get well soon. Yeah, obviously you get more movement from the water and the colour if you use the hot press watercolour card. But you know me well enough to know that I really like the starkness of the white card. So that's why we're using that. So that is my base. I'm going to put the base of my card to one side so I'm not tempted to put colour on it. And then we've got two top layers for this project. And I need to just do the edge of the biggest one because that's all you're going to see, and then all of the top one. So I'm going to start with the base one. There will be some drying time involved tonight. I'm just going to go and fill this up. Just bear with me 1 second. Unless I've got another one lying around. No. Oh, I have. Oh, yeah, we might be alright. We might be alright. I've got two on the go. I might need to just go and top up before we move on. Right, so the lustre powders, just bear in mind when you use these, if you're using these for the first time, they are super strong in colour. So you only need a little bit, and it's easier to do it too pale and build up on top of it than it is to do it too strong and not be able to remove it. Unlike Distress Oxides, where you can remove the colour, you can't do that with these. I'm just looking for a spatula. Why can you never find a spatula when you need one? Oh, I'm glad I found them because that's what I need later. A spatula. Do you know I've got hundreds of them? Why can't I find one when I want one? That'll do. That'll do. That'll do nicely. Hi Lona, hi to everybody who's just joining. Oh, now then, which is more versatile, powders or paints? Oh, that's a tricky question. Tricky question. You can probably do a few more things because you can stamp with these. You can stamp with my metallic paints as well. Oh, tricky. I can't answer that. Right, so I only need to do the outer edge of this, so I know I don't need a lot. And I'm going to put the water on my mat first. So I might need to go and fill this up. Let's see how far we get. In fact, let's just tip it out. And normally, if I was making this project as a proper card for myself, if I was sat in my craft room on my own, just making this project, I would do all the greeny coloured things in one go. But I'm going to do them in stages for you. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the powder to this, and then I'm going to mix it with my paintbrush. So I'm going for a watered down. Oh, this colour is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know whether you can see the shimmer in this on you. Oh, you can. Look at that on your screen. How beautiful is this colour? So just mix it in well so that all the powder's been absorbed and mixed in with the water. Oh, that is beautiful. So, top tip. So, a tip before we get started. I've already mentioned that I only need to do the edge of this. So I am going to be a little bit wasteful tonight. So forgive me, actually. Let's just do two bits. We'll do two parts of this. So before you start picking this up with your card, remember I only need to do the edges of this. I am going to spray this card around the edges. Oh, I am if my misters decide to work. Yeah. So I've just sprayed the water around the edges, and I'm just going to pick this up. You can actually see the colour in this. So I know I'll probably make a mess tonight, so don't panic. And we already know that the water is going to make the card bend and buckle, but we know how to fix that. Oh, that colour is lovely. Look at that lovely colour. So let's just pick that up. So what we'll end up with is a lovely watery background. Just making sure I've got enough on the edge. I'm going to add a little bit more with my brush, just because I can. And just let that fall down the sides. And I've also got one of my scraps. I don't know whether you've noticed it at the side. And this is actually going to be part of the card. That's already starting to dry and look pearlescent. It's fabulous. And I'm just going to pick this colour up on this scrap. Obviously, the more powder you use, the stronger the colour will be. I'm doing watery tonight, don't forget. Fabulous. Yeah, that's lovely. Look at that colour. Oh, I haven't changed my glasses, thank you. Oh, I think I'm getting a cold sore. Just had an itchy thing on my lip. Pop that to one side. I'm going to pop this straight into my inky box. Hopefully you can see. There you are, look. So I'm not going to force dry this. I'm going to leave it in my inky box as long as I can. And I'll put this piece in with it also. And then we'll just clean up this mess. Why does it always do that? Somebody did give me a tip, but I can't remember what it was. So I'm just going to pick this, wipe this up. I will be using the green again, because we're going to add a second layer to that and make it a bit stronger. So this is what I was saying at the beginning about it's better to do it with less and add, so less colour and build up, rather than too much colour and not be able to dilute it. Good evening to everybody who's just joining. And then we're going to do the same on the top. And with one of the tags. So I'm using the Gothic top layering tags for this. So this piece now is going to be with the stronger colour, which is the deep aquamarine. No, this is, sorry Karen, I've just seen your question. No, this is not watercolour card. This is my normal ice white. It's a turquoisey green. That's why I chose it to go with the aquamarine. Does that make sense? Yeah, Leonie would be proud of me. Yeah, my inky box. Have you never seen my inky box, Susan? Right, so this time I'm going to use a little bit less water, believe it or not, but more coverage, because I want to cover the majority of this piece of card that's coming next. I haven't cleaned that, and I should have done because it's still got some of the other colour in. So this time I'm going to drop the powder onto my watery mat. A little bit more. I want this to be slightly stronger. This is a much stronger colour. Hopefully you can see the sheen in this. So I'm just mixing it again before I add more water to this. And as I mentioned earlier, if I was making this from scratch, I would do all the parts of this card that need this colour. I would do them all in one go. You'll see how much stronger this is in a minute. So another little tip for you, just while I'm mixing this up, it's actually quite nice if you have a go at this technique, and once you've done it you think, oh, do you know what, there's a little bit of a lump from the powder or something where you've not mixed it in properly, it actually looks quite nice. Right, I'm going to do the big part first. Let's just add a little bit more water. I'm not spraying the card this time. Oops, my fingers are filthy. Before we even look at that colour. Oh, lovely jubbly. Remember, it's not watercolour card, and I am getting it kind of saturated, so I know it will need time. I'm gonna not do any. Oh, I'm just gonna put a little bit on the edge here, and then I'm gonna pop that in my inky box to dry. That's starting to dry now. Can you see the sheen on that? This is the original colour. Fabulous. Then I've got another bit to do. I do love watercolour techniques. Let's just move that around a bit. Yeah, that's fab. Yeah. Oops, I've just dropped it on the green. And then I'm also going to do the tag. So I don't know whether you've noticed, but I'm wafting this through to get more colour on. They are, look. And then we'll put that to one side also and let that dry. And just before I move on to the next stage, I need a drying rack. I'm going to just take this frame. So this is one of the lead differently dyes, and I'm just going to pick up some of this waste onto the frame. Yeah, that's lovely. And I'm running out of space in my inky box, so that's going on the floor. I better sit it on the kitchen roll. Right, so what we're going to do now, whilst I've got this colour on my mat, rather than clean it and then start again, I'm going to bring in all my flowers. Now, I can't remember which flowers I've used, but I do think that they are no longer available. And I chose these because I love the shape of them. So forgive me if you want these and you can't get them. I do apologise. But I've chosen these on purpose because I wanted this shape. Okay, so what we're going to do now is add less water, a little bit more water, but more powder, so that I get a really strong colour this time. So I'm just going to work in this section here rather than my whole mat. I'm not going to wet the card on the flowers first. I need to just get another piece of kitchen roll handy. There's a lot of drying going on here. Oops, just rips that into too many bits. Oh, that looks fabulous. Wait till you see this. I may or may not have contaminated the lovely pale green colour. Right, so flowers are just being dipped in. You'd be dry until 11. It probably will be. So this time I'm just going to dip the flowers in, and I know this is going to be a stronger colour look because I've used more powder. Can you see? So the more powder, less water equals stronger colour. I'm going to do this with all of them. It's a shame to waste that on the back, but there you go. Now you know me well enough to know that if this didn't wash off my hands, I wouldn't be doing this. So as soon as it starts to get a little bit weaker, I need to add a little bit more. I love demos like this because I'm doing it from scratch. So all I've started with is white cards. So this is exactly how I would do it, apart from the extra layers. Just get the small ones, and then I need to add a bit more. Oh, look at that colour. I won't force dry anything unless I really have to do. This is much better left to dry naturally. I'm just wondering if I can get one more. Let's just see if I can get one more. One more. I've only got one more after this. Yeah, it's starting to get weaker now. I've got one more large flower to do, but it is the biggest. Just as another little tip for you, if you were to paint with these, you can actually leave them to dry on a bit of acetate or something, and then reactivate them with water, so nothing gets wasted. I need a little bit more on that. Yeah, that's fabulous. And I'm just going to clean this mess up now before I move on. Just as another little tip, crikey, I'm full of it tonight. If you're going to use this in texture paste, just be careful not to get a single tiny fleck of the powders in your texture paste, because it will contaminate the whole pot. I've done that far too many times. It's so easy to do. Right. So as always, we're going to leave these to dry naturally as long as we possibly can. So I'm just going to bring this in and show you, because you can actually see the mica in this as it's starting to dry. It's much better to leave these to dry naturally. Yeah. Oh, I knew I'd contaminated this. It's got a few cat hairs on it. But look at that colour now that it's starting to dry in. And that's the greeny one, look. Right, so whilst we wait for that, we're going to just glitter our foliage. Now, all the foliage is staying white. There's going to be enough colour on this from the doodahs. Now, the mistletoe I'm going to stamp on. So that's the mistletoe die that you know I absolutely love. Oops, I've just ripped that one. And then the ferns are going to be glittered. So bringing in the stamps from the Florascript, we know that we've got the delicate script one, which is the teeny tiny script, and I'm using brown to stamp with rather than black, and I'm going to stamp the mistletoe. Oh, sugar. Aren't you proud of me? I said sugar. I must have it in for these powders because I dropped one on one of my live videos as well. So I've chosen brown rather than black just because it's a little bit softer. And I've got here Fallen Leaves Versifying Clay. A doodah. Question, what difference would the gesso make in adding to the powder? So if you were to mix the powders with gesso, Irene, it would negate the mica. So you would be able to colour the gesso because of the pigment in there, but you would lose the mica, the pearlescent sheen. So we're just adding a little bit of script onto this. So personally, I would mix the chalk paints with gesso rather than the powders. If you were to mix the powders with my texture medium, you end up with a lovely stained glass effect because you get the pearlescent sheen. So that's what I would do. So we've just added a little bit of script to the mistletoe. Thank you, Jenny. Well, you know as well as I do, if I was on my own, it wouldn't have been sugar. It would have been a much different word that still started with the same letters. Oh, well, hopefully, Karen, you'll get some ideas. Remember as well, you can paint with them. There's a lot you can do with the lustre powders. It's time for some new colours. I'm going to get on to Kay and Alfie about that. I need to send them a new palette. My fingers are a bit turquoise. So we're just going to glitter the ferns now. I forgot what this one's called. It's Delicate Fronds, I believe. But again, this is another one of the older ones. Oh, you nearly saw something you shouldn't have. Let me move that. That would have been embarrassing because you would have got a bit of a sneaky peek then. Right, so we're just going to glitter the ferns, and I'm going to use the brush glue for this. This is my old one, which is nearly empty. So remember, when you're using colour, no matter how soft it is, you've just seen how soft we managed to get the that colour, the sea foam. But when you're using a lot of colour on your card, balance it with white embellishments. Oh, that's my preference. So just pop those up there so they can be drying. Oops. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just brushing the glue on because this is just too delicate to try and do. Oh dear, I've got dropsies tonight. It's good if I've got my pyjamas on. I told you it's been a long day and I've been at the computer for most of today. My eyes are a bit square. So no glittery ring yet, but we have got glittery ferns. Did I ever tell you about the time where you can see how I keep my my glitters, my Diamond Dazzle is always kept like this underneath the shelf underneath my monitor. So I've always got this. I've always got the spoon in there, and I went to grab. It's a couple of weeks ago. Went to grab the Diamond Dazzle, and the spoon was hanging out like that. And I caught the spoon and sent it flying, and all the Diamond Dazzle went everywhere. My desk looked pretty for weeks. You can't see what the sneaky peek is just yet. It's not next week's either, it's for later on. Next week is sneaky peek time, so next Monday will be sneaky peek pre-order time. I know you're going to be excited about next week. Right, so this is the sea foam look. Starting to dry. Let me see if I can, there you go. You can see the pearlescent sheen you get, and you saw how diluted I made this colour. This is the original colour. So more water equals a softer shade, and that's exactly what we've got here. Now this is not 100% dry, however, I am going to stamp on this and put it underneath my guillotine to dry. So I'm bringing back the Delicate Script. Now I'm assuming you've all got your Delicate Script stamp. And we're going to do just a tiny bit around the edges. And you can see I'm doing this freehand. I'm not putting this on a block, and I am stamping on slightly damp card. So I don't want it everywhere. I just want a little bit of script on here. This is one of the things that I love about these powders. There are so many different micas out there that you cannot stamp over, but you can with these, and it's just fabulous. So I've got a little bit of script going on in the background, and I'm going to pop this, I'm going to spray the back of this. I'm going to spray the back of it and pop it underneath my guillotine, so this piece can actually be drying properly. And I've just made a huge schoolboy error. So learn from my mistake, everybody. If you clean your glitter up, not your glitter, if you clean your glue up, as I just did there, with a wipe, don't then use it to clean your stamp, which is what I've just done. Because it makes your stamp sticky with glue. I should have known better. Right, so missed the back of this, which is slightly contradictory because we want it to dry, but a couple of little sprays on the back. I'm going to sandwich it between the kitchen roll and then pop that underneath my guillotine. So the weight from a guillotine will just flatten that, that's all. You put glue on your stamp. Yeah, well, yeah, because I had glue on the wipe. I've got a clean one now. That's a schoolboy error, which is very remiss of me. Oh, look at this now, look. This is why it's better to leave it to dry naturally. Ignore the cat hairs. I'm just checking the status of these. And this piece is almost dry. So coming back to these scraps, and these are the scraps from my matting and layering. You know I try and use everything. I try not to waste card. And now I'm going to bring in one of my medleys. I think we'll go with the Beautiful Blooms, just because Beautiful Blooms is a rounded flower shape. And I'm also going to stamp freehand with the brown ink. So this is just going to be a layer. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be everywhere. So let's just get that. Yeah, perfect. Look how gorgeous that looks. Don't you think it's marvellous being able to stamp over I've just spotted your questions. You'll have to wait. Can you still get that stamp? And if so, how much? Which one, Katie? The one with the little script on? Oh, we've got nobody doing links for us, have we? Because Karen's away with her husband. So, Saz, are you on Facebook? I think you mean the script one. And I honestly don't know the answer to that question, but it's a relatively new one, so there might be the odd few left over. So we'll pop that to one side. It's not quite dry yet, so we can't really do much with it. Let's check the status of the flowers. Oh, look at these beautiful flowers. Tweezers, where are you? Oh, look at this. Look at that stunning colour. So these are not quite dry, obviously, so I'm going to move them around so they're not sitting in the wet areas. In fact, I'll put them on another piece. That's another tip. I don't know whether I've ever told you that. If the kitchen roll's damp underneath, it's going to obviously take longer for them to dry. So I've got quite a few flowers here, but there are in actual fact only 5 going on the card. So they're now on some dry kitchen roll. That is, it's touch dry, but not enough for me to do what I want to do with them. Just put them there. Please don't fall off. Please don't fall off. I'm not telling you what's coming next week. You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see. Right, so this piece is still a little bit too damp for me to work with. So we need to leave that a little bit longer. I can, however, pop the frame on. So let's do that. Oh, my back's just clicked. Oh, bless you, Jean. Right, so we've got the heart lattice in the Lead Differently die. I'm just going to check I've got this the right way before I stick the frame on. And I have. So let's put this on. Come on, glue, don't let us down. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Saz. Oh, before I forget, Saz has asked me to tell you all that if you're interested in meeting her and Vicky for a coffee and a crafty chat, to get in touch with her because they are trying to organise something. And I'm ashamed to say I can't remember the area. Sorry, Saz. Just make sure I've got that on straight. Oh, I've got it on the wrong piece. Remember, these only fit in one opposite. These only fit in one direction. That's not the one either. That is the one. Got there in the end, third time lucky. So we've framed that. Look at my nails. Leonie would be proud. Leonie would be proud. Right, so this is also going underneath something heavy, just to allow some drying time. So whilst we wait for that, we will stamp our little sentiment. And I've just got to find my little, here it is, my little strip. And one of my sentiments. Oh, that's nice. Let's have this instead. I've just changed my mind to which sentiment to use. I've just seen this one and I honestly can't remember. I honestly can't remember doing that, but isn't that fabulous? You brighten my life. How lovely. Yeah, it's too small for that one, so we'll go with the bigger strip. So snip the end off this. So all I'm doing is the jobs that I can't do, that I can do, whilst we allow the card time to dry. You brighten my life. That'll be lovely with these colours. And again with the brown rather than the black. Try and get that sort of straight. Oh, isn't that lovely? I can't even remember doing that. Oops. That shows you how busy I've been. I can't remember what I'm doing. So let's put that back. I don't need the sentiment again until we start the assembly. Right. We're still a little bit too damp to work on, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. So, which side do I want that on? That's got more colour. Can you see the shimmer? Yeah, you can. So we're going to do the same again. There are actually going to be lots of layers going on top of this. But this is all about the texture and how the card is put together. So I'm going back in with the script stamp. I'm going to do the same thing again. And you'll notice I am doing first and second generation. I think it's marvellous that we can stamp on this. So little areas of the script there. Cling stamp. And then we're going to bring in the stencil. And we're going to gesso through this. So you need to make sure before you do this that you're brown ink is dry. So if the brown ink is dry, you'll be fine with this. Remember, this cardstock is still a little bit damp. I shouldn't be working on it just yet, but I am. I'm going to be a rebel. So in with the white gesso. Oh, I didn't see your question. Let me just scroll back. Has anyone tried? Sorry, Karen. Oh, I don't know. Boiled eggs for Easter. You do need these sentiment stamps. Right, so I'm using the sponge. And we're just going to stencil some of this through here with the gesso. Now, I've chosen to do the gesso after the brown stamping. And it'll be quite subdued. Let me just see if I've got it thick in. Oh yeah, that's fabulous. Because gesso dries translucent, remember. And I've chosen to do this with the cut and dry foam rather than... Oh, that's gorgeous. I've chosen to do this with the cut and dry foam rather than the brush, because I can get it a little bit thicker. And I'm dabbing it through rather than... I'm dabbing it through rather than swirling it like you would do with a brush. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember my layout. Oh, that's lovely. Let me see if I can get you to see this. There you go, look. And then, of course, I'm going to do the edges. Let me just clean this stencil. So just pop that to one side. We always forget how much you can actually do with gesso, don't we? That's baby wipe number 4. Well, it's not actually a baby wipe, it's a water wipe. And I'm just going to do the edges of this card before I put it underneath the guillotine. Trying to get a good chunk of gesso for the edges. I promise you it'll be worth it when it's done. I'm not splatting this, because we are going to splat the flowers when they're done. So gesso does a couple of things. It obviously adds a lovely texture through the stencil, but it also softens the edges of the card. So now that brown stamping has been covered up over the edges, look. So it actually looks like it's integral to the card rather than stamped.
I think that's enough. I think that's enough, he says, going in again.
Yeah, gesso's fabulous on the edge of your card, especially if you've used what the same ones I use, Emma. These, Emma. I don't know how much they are, to be honest, but let's just pop that in there. And I just need to clean up this bit of mess. And just get my mat looking nice and clean again. It is worth having a second one of these. Well, I've got about, well, loads, but it's worth having extras of these because you can keep one for your dirty jobs. I know they do dry, wipe clean, but keep one for your dirty jobs. Right, put your mat straight, Mr. Martin. Oh, that's interesting, Emma. Is it still a water wipe? So I use them because they're water rather than baby wipes. Oh, what's happened to tube? Oh, there we are. We're back. Right. Oops. We are back. This is my dirty mat. Right, so tag. So this is one of the little tags that I've got, which also needs stamping on. Now the tag is going upside down, and I'm going to stamp the tag with the same stamp that I used. I am when I find it. Here it is. Oh no, it's not that one. Oh, I've got too much stuff on my desk. Hang on a minute. Here it is. So I'm going to stamp the tag with the same medley stamp, and the tag is going it's going to be an embellishment upside down. So rather than it being an actual tag per se, it's going to be a little embellishment. So I can choose which section I want to be seen. It doesn't need to be perfect, and it doesn't need to be all over. Yeah, that's perfect. Doesn't need to be perfect, but that's perfect. So this is the fun part, doing all the techniques and everything to get everything ready for the assembly. And you can see I'm taking my time and doing this properly, because this card is going to be actually really rather lovely. So this piece here, these are scraps from the matting and layering. Remember I told you? So these pieces here are going to be stamped on. This one I've done with the medley stamp, the same as the tag, which is going to get tucked underneath there. So this time I want some of the script on here, but a little bit less than I've used everywhere else. So I just want some tiny sections. You can see how this is dried, look. It's dried super pearlescent. And if you remember right at the beginning of the demo, I explained to you that this is not watercolour card. This is just plain white cardstock, our ice white. So on actual watercolour card, this would move even more. So it's a bit of a win-win. That's testament to the quality of the lustre powders. I have got a link on for the lustre powders. Right, let me just see where I'm going with this. Ooh. I nearly did it upside down. Although it's not proper text, it does have a right and a wrong way. I'm just going to do a little bit there. And that's all I'm doing on that part. So we're just going to check now to see if the flowers are dry. And all the time we're allowing this to dry as long as we possibly can naturally, because that is the key. As soon as you start heat drying things, it makes it trickier. So let's just see what's happening under here. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, that's marvellous. That's practically straight now, look. So I'm going to do the same with the blue piece. So a little bit of water on the back. A little bit of water on the back. Make it into a sandwich. A kitchen roll sandwich. Oh, cat hairs. And chuck that under your guillotine. Marvellous. So don't ever worry about your card buckling, because it really doesn't matter. Right, are these dry enough to work on? They are indeed. Whoop whoop. Oh, you're going to love this next part. Right, so I've got 5 flowers going on this card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not stamping on these flowers, but what I am going to do is score them with my poker tool. So you may have seen me do this before, you may not have seen me do this before, so I'm going to show you how to do it. So there are no debossed lines in these dies, which is why I chose them. So I'm going to score these with my pokey tool. You can do them with your scoring tool, but it's a lot thicker unless you've got a really tiny one. And you know I haven't got a tiny one, everybody. I'm just looking for a Versamark. A dirty Versamark, so just bear with me a second. Oh, none of them are. Oh, my Versamarks are lovely and clean. This is probably the dirtiest. So I'm going to score these flowers with my pokey tool. And I'm just dipping, let me get a drink. I've not even touched my coffee. And I've still got the wrong glasses on. Somebody did tell me. I've been crafting in the wrong glasses, so if it all looks rubbish when we're finished, you know why. Who's about a mile? Oh yeah, about a mile from my shop. Yes, it is. So I'm just the glycerin in the Versamark will help this glide. So I'm going to score this just like this. If you try and do this without the Versamark, you will be able to do it, but what you will find is it drags the colour off your card. Now I'm just going to do this one flower and then bring it in to show you, because this is a fabulous technique and I don't know why I've not done it on a live before. Possibly because it takes a little bit of time, and possibly because most of my flowers have debossing detail in them, but these ones do not. Oops. So this is a really, oh, broke that. Don't do that. This is a really easy way to do that. I just pressed too hard, that was all. I wonder if I can fix it. Hang on. Let me see if I can fix it. I'm pretty sure I can. That was the last line as well. We've had a marvellous night tonight. I've dropped the lustre powder. What else have I done wrong? Spilt the glitter. Decimated my flower. If anybody's watching me for the first time, this is not... I don't normally abuse my die cuts. There we are, I've rescued it. I've just got one more line to put on. Let me see if I can get away with it. There we go. I'm going to leave that to set. Don't press too hard. Maybe I was a little bit heavy-handed with it. Yeah, that's easy. I can tell the difference. You just remember, don't dig the tip into the into the flower. In my defence, tell him, Jean. In my defence, the card is not 100% dry. You've not seen me do this before? Yes, I do, little Elaine, it's true. It's usually a butterfly that gets it. Let me just finish this and then I'll bring it in and show you what a difference it makes. So this is why it's better to do this with a poker tool rather than a scoring tool, because the scoring tools are just a little bit too thick. So let's just show you, look. So when I put this flower together, I've got loads and loads of lines now where I can shape the petals if I so wish. I'm not going to do them because I just wanted the lines. So just bear with me while I whiz through these. I never did get a drink. Flower cruelty. You've got no excuse, Lorraine. I'm there every other Wednesday. Right, I'm just going to whiz through these, everybody. I am loosely trying to keep these even, but it doesn't really matter. This also is nice. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to tell you because I think I'll do it as a Technique Tuesday video. So I'm not going to tell you what I was just about to say. It won't take me long. And it is just allowing everything to dry. I should have warned you to do this with, well, I did actually. I did say you need a dirty Versamark or a dirty Perfect Medium, because it does take a little bit of the colour. You can see, look, it does take a tiny bit of the it does transfer a tiny bit of the colour from the pokey tool. Do you know, I've got no idea what time it is, but I can tell you this. I needed this after today. Don't do this on your dining room table. Unless you've got a glass mat on or your sponge mat. In fact, talking about mats, obviously Creative Expressions have closed down now, I believe. I think that's it, they've gone. So we've bought just about all of the stock they had left of my stamping mats. So if you haven't got the 9x9, I think I've said this before, you need to start stocking up, because I can't I can't replicate these because I don't know where they had them made. And all the sample sponge foams that I've had are not as good as this. So I won't buy something unless it's better than the original. So I'm just working my way through. This is particularly nice with if you scrunch your flowers up. This is why you need the... Look at the difference that little bit of glycerin makes. Almost done. I've just got a couple more to do. I can't see what you've said to me for the last few minutes, but I promise you I will look later when I have my coffee. I'm just going to do one on the small flowers. It completely changes the look of them. It's so clever. In fact, this is a really good way to show you, look. So the one on the left has been scored. The one on the right hasn't. Looks fab. Yeah, marvellous. Just every now and again, Jackie and everybody, every now and again. Nah, I didn't want it, Sandra. Every now and again, Jackie, when you do an order, just chuck another 9x9 in your order. Everybody do that. Just so you've got some spares. I mean, I won't lie to you, I've taken loads from the shop. Which I know will surprise you all. And the last one. Bob's your uncle. Right, so I am going to shape these now. Or I am when I find my bone folder. So I am shaping these back. Oh, it looks so pretty, look. And it's something that we can all do regardless of which flower dyes you've got. So I'm going to put these flowers together, put the pearls in, and then I'm going to chuck them in the inky box and splat them with gesso. So this is my big flower, which will be 3 layers. Which one was the one I ripped? Can't find it. So the biggest flower, which you know I always have one that is the focal. In fact, let's shape them the other way. One is always the focal flower, as you well know. I'm just roughing this one up at the edges. Comfort zone, this. This is my comfort zone. Oops, stay on. So that's the big flower. I've just got to make sure I don't pull that petal back off again. So the GSM for the Joe's just asking me on Facebook what GSM cardstock I use. So I only use our own cardstock, Joe. So the ice white that I'm using now is 300 GSM. Well, I think this is the dodgy one. So I only use 300 GSM, or if you're using our colour plan cardstock, so any of my coloured cardstock, it's 270 GSM, and it's the perfect weight. And it retains the shape. And obviously, colour plan cardstock is just, it's the best there is. That's why I went with it. So I am doubling these flowers up. They're all going to be doubled up. And remember I said to you, there are 11 flowers that I've die cut, but there will only be 5 flowers on the card, because 3 of them are quite large. Now, if I had more time, I would probably put some stamens or something in these. So we're just layering these up, then we'll pop the pearls in, and then we will splat with white gesso. You don't have to, but it's just another texture that I wanted on this card. What are the mats called? They're stamping mats. Sandra's just said, look, under tools and essentials, mats and rulers. I can't tell you how much you all need to stock up on these, because genuinely, I cannot find the same quality of foam that Creative Expressions got for me. And obviously they won't tell me, but so until I can improve on this, I won't do it. So last flower, then we'll get the pearls in, and then we'll splat with some white gesso. And the white gesso will just tone down the shimmer from these. Just ever so slightly. I mean, you don't have to put the splats on, but I like the texture, as you well know. Now, get your bingo cards out, because we are going to have a lovely glittery ring in a moment. So just white flowers, white pearls, sorry. So loads of glue in the middle of this. And the same with this one. And again, if you're watching for the first time and you're wondering why I've put so much glue in the middle of these flowers, you are about to see our world famous glittery rings. And you lot are a bad influence on me. And Jean will back me up. We never used to have any... Oh, maybe we did, Jean. I don't think I can deny it. So, pearl, excess glue. And the excess glue then gives us the ring. Yeah, love it, love it, love it. Which is then going to be glittered. So I am doing the glitter and the pearls before I splat the flowers. I love this flower shape. I can't remember what they're called, everybody. I'm sorry. I know it's from the Pretty Petals collection. I know this flower is from the Pretty Petals collection, but I can't remember whether it's Precious Blooms or Darling Blooms or something like that. In fact, I don't know whether we've got any. If we have, you're going to be super, super lucky. So, here we go. Well, I think I've timed this quite well, look. It's 20 past. So these little ones are the only ones that I've left as singles. Oops. And these are going in the inky box. In the inky box, and then we're going to get them splattered. The inky box is currently vacant. You could, remember everybody, I'm not doing this tonight obviously, but you could splat with the opposite colour in the lustre powders. So you could just bring your lustre powders back in again and splat with those. They are strong enough pigments that if you allow it to dry and then go back in with the first colour or a different colour, it will settle on top. So I've made that quite thick with the gesso. Remember, the more water you add, the weaker and more translucent it will be. So I don't want a lot of water on this. That was 6 sprays in this really quite, I don't know whether you can see that. Can you see that? This is really quite thick, look. So I'll just get that splattered. Oh, it looks so good. It looks really, really lovely. And they've been splattered within an inch of the live, so I'm going to stop there. There are no splats going on the card. This is a tricky card to balance. I'm absolutely filthy. I'm at the shop on Wednesday for a class, so we'll be inspecting my fingernails. Let me just show you them, look. That kitchen roll's been in there for yonks. Right, so now let's come back to the card and start the assembly. So let's see where we're at. Oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. Look at the gesso through the stencil though. And all this is going to be subliminal in a minute. So almost 100% dry. It's still a little bit kinky, so I'm going to have to squash that down. So this is going on to this layer flat. So I will glue this quite heavily and then pop it underneath the guillotine again. These colours together are really, really lovely. They are sea foam and deep aquamarine. Look at these two colours together. Oh, actually, it looks turquoise on your screen, but it isn't. It's green. Right, underneath the guillotine, you go. The frame. Where did I put the frame? Here you are. So I've got the little frame, which we can now pop the... Look how that was really, really diluted, that powder. But look, we've still got the shimmer on there. So let's get some foam tape on the back of here. Now, I brought a fresh roll through. What have I done with it? We're at the fun part now, everybody, putting it all together. Not keen on the splats. It's personal preference. I like them. It just depends how much sparkle you want. Oops. So let's just get some foam tape on here. It's all about texture, dimension, colour. I've got 2 plain white butterflies that are having no glitter on. They're having nothing on them, just plain white. I can't wait for Monday night. There's quite a lot to show you on Monday night. So there is. I've got ink pads and everything all over. My desk is never this messy. I'm just cleaning the tips on my tweezers so that I don't transfer any colour. So plain white butterflies, 2 of. Is that the rubbish foam tape? No, this is the good stuff, Sue. The rubbish foam tape is in the bin. Hey, brain leaking. I don't know whether that is that a good thing, Jean, or a bad. 2 little butterflies. Precious Blooms, thanks, Saz. I've just clicked back over to the 2. Precious Blooms is what these flowers are called. Have we got any, Saz? If we have, it'll only be a couple. Foam stamping mats are not under tools. Let me see if I can find them for you. Tools and essential. Mats and rulers. Tools and essential mats and rulers. There they are. I can see the 6. I can see the 9x9 one, but the A4 3 ones are no more by the looks of it. Here's a link for the... Oh. Here's a link for the mats. Are the wings still attached? They are, Karen. Where's the sentiment? I know I've done one. So just make sure I've got everything here that I need. So my mistletoe, which has been stamped on. I'm just putting everything where I need it. It's still one of my favourite dyes, mistletoe. It's very rare that I reorder a Christmas dye, but I did reorder the mistletoe. So that's my mistletoe, my ferns, the butterflies, my layers. Just see if I can flatten these a little bit. Yeah, I should be alright with that. I'm going to put foam tape on this one. It is always better to work with dry card. So I've pushed my luck a little bit tonight by stamping on slightly damp card, but it is always better to stamp on dry card. So this is the tag that I'm using upside down. I don't need the top half of this, so I'm just going to snip that off. So that's my tag. This is the other part of the topper. I'm just trying to smooth this out a little bit, just trying to flatten it, because this piece has got to go on glue gel. That's not too bad. Right, let's see where we're at. We should just be okay. It's still a tad damp. I would have preferred to have left it another 10-15 minutes, but we don't have the luxury of that time. So let's get this started to put together. So remember I said to you right at the beginning, this is quite a large card. The base of the card is 23 by 17. And I've gone down in 1 centimetre increments. So the next layer was... sorry, I've just told you a porcupine. The base card is 23.5 by 17. And then I went down by 1 centimetre increments. So the next one was 22.5 by 16. And then the next one after that was 21.5 by 15. Put my base somewhere. Oh, do you remember me telling you that my back creaked? Oh, my back's killing me. Oh, that's not fun. That's not fun. Could also be because I've sat at the desk for too long today. So let's try and get this put together. Make sure I've got that the right way up. I don't know whether you can see the... Oh, you can, look. So the greens and the turquoises coming through from the lustre powders, and you notice it even more when it's on the white base. And I don't know how, but I've even got gesso up my arms, and I did say arms. Right, so we're going to start with these pieces here. I've got another white piece somewhere. Bear with me. There's a piece missing. Here it is. Plain white piece. That we're not going to see much of. This needs to go on tape. Sorry everybody, it's all about layers with me, as you know. Sorry Liz. But at least I show you how to use them. So plain white card, which I know is a little bit frivolous because I'm putting it down this side. Yeah, but can you see, look, there is quite a lot of colour on this card. So the white actually does us a favour and it just tones it back a little bit. We'll put some glue on this. This is why I save all the strips from my matting and layering, because it always comes in handy. Make sure that's straight. It is. And then we're going to go in with the glue gel now. Hope your fingers are clean. 9x9 mats are coming up as out of stock. Bear with me. I do know how to add more stock, but Karen's the one that usually, but she's had the barefaced cheek to have a weekend away with her hubby, which I just think is so rude. Ugh, I thought I threw that away. Just bear with me a second, everybody. I'm just checking. Add to cart. It says in stock on my screen, but maybe everybody's just been to buy them. I'll keep checking for you. Let me just start putting this card together. It still says in stock, but I will have a look. Right, so now we're building up the layers for this card, and this is where it kind of all comes together, because at the minute it just looks a bit messy, and we don't like mess. And I'm hoping you can see all that lovely shimmer from the Lustre Powders. Right, so remember, I'm already one layer high on foam tape there, so I need to raise this section a little bit more. So a little bit of glue gel just to make sure that this side is higher. All this time we're allowing the flowers to dry a little bit longer. So here we go. I've just squashed that down a bit too far. I think I must be having a rough night. And this one also is getting raised on there. This one's just a little bit higher than central. I can see where the card was still a bit damp, so forgive me for the wavy bits. This is going here. I should really have, mind you, there's no point me doing these in advance, because then you don't learn anything, do you? So this is also being raised on glue gel, so it needs to be quite high. And yes, I know it's nearly half a tube on a car. One card. So we've now got the white look from the embossing folder. Oops. Which is now giving us some starkness against the colour, which is just fabulous. Just bear with me. I'm just making sure I'm straight. Well, the card. The little tag is going underneath there. And I will pop a pearl on the tag hole. I'm just making sure the hearts are straight. The sentiment is clearly going to go there. It's a tower card, it really is. Actually, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not so high that it's not realistic. You could post it at this stage. So you could post it at this stage. Not in a minute. Now let me bring my flowers in. Oh, yes. 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 Marvellous. Marvellous. So we've still got the shimmer look from the Lustre Powders, and it's just toned down a little bit by the splats. Just poke these up a bit more, and now we're on my favourite part, putting it all together. And even our damaged flower has been saved. So big flower is going up here. So flowers go on first, as you know. Foliage gets tucked in afterwards. And now you can't post this card. Actually, that's not strictly true. You can post it. You can see which colour I've picked out. I've picked out the deep aquamarine. We could have added a tint of the sea foam to the flowers, but I wanted to have a stronger tone of the deep aquamarine. Sentiment. No glitter on the sentiment. The only glitter on this is on the fern leaves. Small flowers. I can't see what you're saying just yet. It's not a project for the faint at heart, but it is actually quite easy. If you were doing this at home, it is quite easy. Ferns next. So you'll notice with the what do you call it? That is a massive blob of pin flare. You'll notice with the... Why is that lid not going on right? Hang on, I'm fighting with the lid. I can tell you where this will be going in a minute. Oops, that's it. You'll notice with the fern leaves that there are two sizes, and one of them is the big one and one is the small one. So I've got two of the larger ones that I'm just going to snip down. So the only glitter on this card is the centre of the flowers and the fern leaves. And it's enough. Do as you're told. Thank you very much. And then I've got a small one that is going and then another small one that's going the other side of that. If you're getting bored, I'm about 5 minutes away. And then the last fern leaf. Oops. Oh, sugar. That's going to bug me. The glue gel. Right. And then we've got the mistletoe that we have stamped onto. I would always recommend having two different types of foliage on your card, or more. It stops them looking same old, same old. And then we've got one going under there. I can't see what you're saying just yet, but I promise you I will look later. And let's see if we can cover some of that. There we go. Marvellous. Where there's a will, there's a way. Sorry, I know I'm faffy. And then the last little mistletoe. Okay, I've got a couple of little jobs to do and then we are nearly done. No, we're having butterflies on as well. I need to cover the hole in that tag. I could have obviously put a little bow on there, little bow on there. But no. I'm not going to put glitter around the pearls there. I'm just going to let that glue set. A couple of randoms, as you know, is the law. Just squash that tag. Sorry, tag. I don't know how I've managed to make this card. Spilt the glitter, squashed the tag, ripped the flower apart, or pulled a petal off it. What else did I do? Oh. Dropped a pearl. And I know Sue's shouting at me for not using the right tool. This is bugging me. Hang on 1 minute. Oh, that's it. Oh, it looks really lovely. I think it might end up with another layer underneath it when I've finished. I think it might end up being bigger than it already is. So two more jobs to do, and that is the butterflies. So the small butterfly is going up here. And the large butterfly, the lacy butterfly, I don't think we've got any of them left either. And the lacy one is going just there to cover that join. And we are done. Done and dusted. So as always, I'm going to cover my back and just remind you that we should work on dried card. Oops, I've dropped everything tonight. So I've got a little bit of waviness that is really annoying me because the card wasn't 100% dry, but hey ho, I'll need to recreate it at some point. Look at the shimmer from those lustre powders. I do believe that there is a deal still on the full set of the lustre powders. Isn't that just gorgeous? It's super easy to do as well, everybody. Well, you've just watched me, and you can do it in your own colours as well. But that shimmer is lovely. And look at the difference the scoring makes on the flowers, look. Isn't that lovely? Isn't it lovely? Yeah, so I really like that. Really like that. And it's been lovely to have a play with the lustre powders again, because I've not used them for ages. And it's a shame because they're one of my favourite products. Well, they all are really, but you know what I mean. And there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Next Monday is sneaky peek and pre-order time. I'm going to remind you to get stocked up on the stamping mats. I will check when I come off air. It's pretty, isn't it? It actually looks better on screen than it does in real life, I'll be honest with you, because I've got too many wavy bits, which is going to annoy me. This card may end up being a giveaway in the Facebook group, because if I look at it too long in my craft room because of the wavy edges, it'll end up in the bin, and it'd be a shame. So I might sign this and do it as a giveaway in the Facebook group one day next week when I get round to everything. So let me just check if the stamping mats are showing us out of stock. No, they are still showing us in stock on my screen. So let's just pop you another link in. Oh, are you sure it's showing us in stock on mine? Heather, give me 15 minutes and I will log in the other way and add some more stock. Anyway, so let's do a little giveaway. What can I give away? Do you know what? I'll do a couple of lustre powders. So we'll do a couple of lustre powders for somebody on YouTube and a couple of lustre powders for somebody on Facebook. Just be random colours, whatever the girls put in, but at least you'll have a couple. So here we go. Let's go over to YouTube. Let me just do my socials first. Let me get a drink. Oh, I can't drink that. Oh, that's vile. Right, so for anybody who's new, I'm glad you've survived. This is kind of the norm for us. So just a quick reminder, if you haven't yet, please do get on and like and follow my Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. And also our shop's Facebook page, which is Honeypot Crafts. My TikTok is Phill M. Martin. Instagram is the same. Twitter, X, whatever they call it now, is the same. And I'm going to reiterate again to anybody who still hasn't subscribed to the YouTube channel, we are heading towards the lives being mainly on the tube. So get yourself subscribed if you haven't already. Just search on YouTube for Crafting with Phill Martin and get yourself, click that subscribe button. Just so you don't miss out. And the last thing, oh, I've done that one, is the Facebook group. So the Facebook group is Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. Just remember, you do need to answer the membership questions or the little questions when you apply to join. Otherwise, the system will think you're a bot and it will decline your request. Right, so here we go. Let's go over to YouTube and do a little giveaway of 2 of the lustre powders. I don't know which colours it will be, but the girls will just chuck 2 random colours in and send them to you for nothing, which is really rather marvellous. So if your name is drawn, you just need to send me your name and address and a brief, just a reminder of what you've won, and as a private message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. So good luck everybody on the tube. I'm doing you first. Aren't you lucky? Snow, wow. Sparkle everywhere. I'm just sorry, I've got lost. I'm just reminded. I'm just reading some of the comments. So sorry, I'm digressing. Right, let me start again. Right, here we go. Right, love it, love it, love it. Glittery ring. I can't remember what else it doodah. Right, so my mouse has landed on Karen Thrussell. So Karen Thrussell, congratulations. You've won yourself 2 of my little, well, they're not little, they're 25ml pots. 2 of my lustre powders. So you do need to send me a private message with your name and address on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page and just a reminder of what you've won. So thank you everybody on YouTube. I will see you next Monday evening for the same time. It's sneaky peek and pre-order next week. Prepare yourself because there's going to be a lot of oohs and ahs. So thank you everybody on YouTube. I will see you next Monday, or if you're in our Facebook group, I will see you on Thursday night for another live at 7 PM. So good luck everybody on Facebook. Here we go. Sandy, I've just seen your comment. Oh, I'll message you later. I'll message you later. So here we go. So my mouse has landed on Christine Sparks. So Christine, congratulations. You've won yourself 2 of these. You know the drill by now. Private message, Sentimentally Yours Facebook page with a reminder of what you've won. And there you go. So it's not a card for the faint at heart, but it is quite easy to recreate. Once you've got all the goodies. Look how gorgeous the stamps look as well. Stamped over the lustre powders. Look at that. Gorgeous. Right, so thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm now going to get a fresh coffee and scrub my hands. So I'll see you on Thursday if you're in the Facebook group. If not, next Monday evening. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.